matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Green 80.
Now this time Bortles will throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Flushed out right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the first NFL carry for Saquon Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. But they'll have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player in the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them a great play on the edge.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Jaguars. Corey Grant, 47 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
Manning to throw on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Remember this Jacksonville D, 55 sacks a season ago.
I think they want to fight for nickname supremacy with Pittsburgh. Remember, they were just one behind Pittsburgh for the overall lead in sacks last year. Pittsburgh known as Blitzburgh. Jacksonville, they're known as Saxonville.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. And we just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little game into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
Into the red zone now. Manning. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now Bortles. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Olivier Vernon in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And the Giants ready to come out now. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Manning to throw on second down. He's going to fire one deep over the... And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Lambo to add on the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Manning now on 1st down. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Zebra.
On play action. Now Manning. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Sterling Shepard, 62 yards. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Earl Mitchell gets him down there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. No one ran the ball more than the Jaguars in 2017, and we could very well see another carry here on 3rd and short. They'll run it. Here's High. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Leonard Fournette stopped short of the marker on 4th down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Giants. 55 yards.
And there's another one of those incredible highlight reel catches. One-handed, deep downfield, another big completion. I know this, partner. As a defender, I don't know how you avoid watching what they do. It's everywhere. All the highlight shows, watching it on Madden, trying not to get intimidated before you go out and have to play against these guys and try and stop them.
Throwing on 1st down is Manning. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Manning to throw once more. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Rosas puts this one through. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And an update now from down in Miami. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
380! 380!
Bortles will try again on second down. Steps away to his left. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. On first down, Bortles. Forced out to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Thomas. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So after the INT, it's Manning. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. Open man right side is Ingram. A good pickup there at 22. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Manning will try again on 2nd down. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Giants! Evan Ingram as the first half is winding. Down, and the Giants are in for 6. Rosas now to add the PAT. This time the extra point up and good, and the lead is now 2. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And now out come the Giants. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Manning now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son that they grew up watching Jets games, just sitting together, watching it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-men. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker. It's like, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion.
Lucy.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers.
Zebra.
They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue able to drop him for a loss of 4. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing,
often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Manning. He finds Coleman. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They give him a gain of 38. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like...
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey. 4 down. Zebra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Manning. Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's now thrown 4 interceptions, and I hate to mention this, but he's a guy that has twice thrown 5 in his career in a single game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And the tough part is playing in this NFL, you don't normally just back off totally from throwing the football, do you? So the potential exists for that 5th one to occur.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Lucy.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Olivier Vernon able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Shotgun now for Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Handoff comes to Hyde, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
76.
They get it to him running left. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Corey Grant, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jags are an extra point away from taking the lead. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, and Bobby kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Bortles now on 1st down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Bortles now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Bortles. Buying time to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now this time Bortles will throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we're are going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And New York set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
He's back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. First down now, but that clock rolling. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
On the catch, this is Russell Shepard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Corey Coleman, 64 yards. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the fourth. Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. It's caught at the 10. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter.
We all knew the situation. We're in the fourth quarter. Who's going to step up and make the big play? Well, we just saw it, didn't we? Took their shot, downfield, got it, and now they're in a great position to take the lead.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One final try now for Manning. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it, because you really build to a crescendo.